Welcome in, Raiders. Thanks for clicking on the video. If this is your first time here, just a quick overview. I am documenting my progress as a new raid player. Not quite free to play, spending about $10 a month on the gem bundle by raid standards. That's almost free to play. So let's get into it. It is day 51. I meant to make this video documenting the nice milestone of day 50, but CVC and work life got in the way. So I want to walk through my progress, not the Arbiter missions, which are going well. We'll come back to those. But the kind of where I am campaign-wise, obviously farming brutal, working my way through Nightmare. Nightmare is a great kind of stop in if you haven't picked up any stars there, because there's some nice gem and silver rewards if you're a little low on either of those resources. Dungeon-wise, though, I am happy to say that I can farm the highest level in all the keeps. It has been a little bit of a revelation using Supreme Gallic, getting him booked up, and him and Ugo, I think, have a block buffs ability, which is quite helpful, especially when you go in and I've set up Potion Tower kind of team and gone in, and all of their openers I don't use once they are used. Once they use their opener, it's saved. So when they get to round 3 on the boss and the ads, other than Kale, Kale's a little bit of a unique fella there. Once they get to the boss, they don't have their main skill on cooldown, can take out the ads, debuff the boss, and it's a pretty smooth clear. And I use this on every single potion keep. It has been great not having those little potions to steal away from my energy. And ascending characters has gotten quite a bit easier. As far as Minotaur, I've highlighted, this is probably the first thing you should be able to farm. The max stage, only stage 15. And this is about 2 to 3 minute clear. Now that I'm not even using my full team, I'm leveling 2 different characters at the same time right now. I am using Minotaur to level experience as well. I think Morag came in here at level 51. She's max level 60. He came in around 40. I think I'm about a quarter of the way through their final level of Minotaur scrolls. They've still got a ways to go, but it's a nice kind of double dip at getting experience and getting the scrolls. Using these 3 characters kind of to carry the team. I could probably just use Tagore and Gallic or Alice and would get through fine, but I don't really have 3 characters I want to be getting scrolls on just yet. I want to prioritize these 2. Ice Golem, I don't really touch, kind of in the back burner. Spider Den, a little similar. I did have to farm stage 14 for the Arbiter mission. It's getting a little hairy. It can't just use AoE abilities to clear the spiders in like one hit. Getting to 16 is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but not my focus, because stage 10 being bugged is nice enough to farm where I am. Dragon, I've highlighted, mentioned before though, stage 20 full farm, sub 3 minute clears. So very happy with how that turned out, with the progress I've made. Farming Dragon only when I think the double or triple speed artifact drops are in effect has been nice. I haven't really even looked at what I've picked up from that, because I'm realizing that saving silver for gear ascension is kind of more important. So I'm pretending I don't even have those artifacts right now. I'm gonna wait till I hit the, I don't know, 20 to 28, 30 million silver you need to max an ascension tournament before I revisit my artifacts. Happy with the dragon farm. Fire Knight is my kind of focus right now. I'm up to 16, the reasonably slow clear. Pretty safe though. This I don't even have the fat man in here right now. Armiger's not max, no masteries. This is before I had any masteries in Morag. I think this is before I had booked Gallic. Obviously not touching Sand Devil, Necropolis, Shogun, and I am touching Iron Twins. But on Sundays, you can farm the Void, pick up a couple extra of these coins, which seems to be worthwhile to do. Moving along, Faction Wars, I don't even want to mention. Arena, just a funny thing about Arena in this game. It's wild. I can sit in gold 5. Basically I just do this once every 20, 30 minutes, refresh. Obviously there's nobody hit here, but usually there's like a solo Arbiter that's like 60, 70, up to 130 power Arbiters I can fight with my team and beat them. But I have like no defense here. I should be farmed all day, but no matter what I do, I stay in gold 4, gold 5, which is nice for the rewards. But ultimately, I don't get to use a lot of my coins do not get used because I can't hit enough teams fast enough. Tag Arena, similar story, although these are easy to use. I'm only in bronze 2. I always think I'm going to get demoted, but then I don't get. But yeah, I get teams like this. I can hit up to like I think 200,000 is usually what I aim for. But pretty easy. As far as Bizarre goes, I've been pulling fragments on this guy whenever I remember. The 24-hour exact is kind of a bummer because you end up skipping a day when you forget. I think about 30 of these guys sitting in my fusion bank. I don't touch Live Arena. Not really interested. Even the 50 energy, I don't know if it's worth it. The headache of losing to humans than waiting for the bots. Clan boss is a bit of a thorn right now. I'm going to be leaving, I think, my current clan because I started basically doing easy and normal, and they really haven't progressed. I can one key hard very easily. I think I do like the top 1 or 2 damage in the guild. On hard, brutal, there's like 2, 3 of us that can hit over 10 million one key brutal, which again, I've been in this guild, this clan rather long enough that I feel like people should have progressed through this, and we have stagnated. So that's the progress. Hopefully find a guild that's clearing brutal and dipping into nightmare. It is worth noting that I think the star of this show is running really 3 supports, 3 really quality supports, and having the attack break and the cleanse, even on a level 50 apothecary, does quite a bit of work keeping my team alive in Demon Lord. My clanmates, I have a clanmate who's got like 300 plus power, and she does the exact same amount of damage I do. So it's very interesting to me. I don't know the characters well enough to determine like, oh, that's what they're doing wrong. But it seems like a lot of people just throw their legendaries in there with no idea of the team composition and have very little success in Demon Lord. I'm not going to mention Hydra and Chimera. They are an embarrassment. Doom Tower, I only auto this. The only thing I don't auto, funny enough, is Nether Spider. No matter what level, this guy's level 30. I gotta auto this even with 2 cleansers. This is so overtuned to me compared to all the other bosses I've touched in this rotation. This guy kind of like stuck on this level. These red and void champions are a little too tanky, hit a little too hard on my blue team. Not really trying to progress into this. Basically, I throw my silver keys into this guy and leave it at that. Secret rooms largely can't touch for the same reason faction wars and siege city aren't really doable. They're just too specific. Attack champions here are lucked into having some decent attack champions at this low level. But, stuff like this where it's barbs only, like good luck. I mean, maybe now that the fat man, maybe a miracle will happen. But Cursed City, again, is embarrassment. I will mention that if you don't know, when you have the advanced quest, you can redo the stages you've completed twice, and that counts as your advanced quest. You don't need to push into Cursed City. I've largely been ignoring this as well for the same reason. Doom Tower, secret areas, and faction wars get ignored. You just do not have the roster variety to deal with that. I got a nice ad. I don't know if you guys get ads. They're great. Mostly, I think, letting the Arbiter missions really dictate my priorities. I think it's really important to stay on top of these just because the magic keeps or the potion keeps opening up specific days kind of out of order. They really make this annoying. It's a great roadblock for your progress. Also, the arena missions that require you to kill like 100 enemies when I'm only killing a single Arbiter in gold 5, gold 4 is a real pain. But on the final stage, happy to report that I'm, essentially point wise, I'm halfway there. Only 1,900 more gold medals here to hit the final kind of massive roadblocks of earning Arbiter, where I get that unlocked. And that's kind of where I'm at. Champion wise, got 7 6-stars. I think my next 6-star is going to be Arbiter for Fire Knights. Then I'm eyeing Rector Drath, maybe even Frozen Banshee for Clan Boss, Phoenix for just having another nuker, and him for Ice Golem is enticing. As far as I talked about this in my last video or one of my recent videos, just having tons of food. I level 4 stars up to 20 for CVC and Champion Ascension points. Have a nice bank of them. Got a nice bank of their 3-star max here. And then I've got, obviously I need to refill the bank again. I've got Arbiter ready to go as a 6-star, but my next 6-star is he's got no food waiting for him. And then I've just got all these blues I've collected in my last shard pull session. A lot of faction guardians in place, although I don't use a lot of rares, so they're just sitting there, guarding what exactly. Not really going to talk about gear again. For what I mentioned, it's expensive to level it. It's I don't really run any sets on anybody besides speed, maybe perception. I use the Hell Hades optimizer. I don't force any sets. I just go for speed, accuracy, crit rate, and whatever looks best. I've been using. It's been working. Obviously, at this stage, artifacts I'm finally starting to farm them because of tournaments, but otherwise I'm just ignoring them. You could see I'm on day 50 here, and I still have 4 weeks worth of XP boosts to go. It's just never ending. Like I said, tournament wise, I ignore kind of everything. Classic order, you can't really ignore. The Dragon tournament, I did get max rewards. I felt that this is worth pushing, given the speed set reward, the CVC, the tournament. There was a champion training event in place too, or the dungeon divers rather. So all the stars kind of aligned to be grinding the dragon. So I put a lot of energy into that. Felt worthwhile. Overall, I'm not doing anything with this fusion. This guy looks, fine, but for my account, not worth the resources. And I think that's a wrap. That's my experience. Trying to keep this 10 minutes. I think I'm over, but if you stuck around, please let me know down in the comments what your first 50 days look like, what your first 2 months, how you felt about the game. When did it really start to click? I'm starting to understand how optimizing specific champions and how much a benefit getting them booked up is, getting their mastery is hugely important. So it's starting to click for me. But I'll be interested to hear your experience on those realizations as well. All right, that was a rambling outro. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one.